One of the reasons why I feel like fans like myself love mixed martial arts so much is because of the massive stakes that are on the line when fighters go into competition. They take on massive health risks. There are massive financial stakes during the fight. But for the most part, even if there's a rivalry and some smack talk ahead of time, usually things resolve by the end of the fight. Now, there's a few exceptions to that. There have been some very hardcore, deep beefs, deep disagreements, fundamental character differences that just never seem to resolve. One of the prime examples of one of these differences, of course, Conor Habib, and we may never see these guys make amends, but it is pretty cool when you see guys with such high stakes, such high animosity come in, they fight it out, and they seem to move past their differences at the end of doing battle. Well, Jorge Masvidal and Ben Askren, that's another case of a rivalry. It's almost beyond a rivalry. It's just a beef where the two guys just simply do not like each other. They didn't like each other before the fight. Jorge Masvidal used to have a lot of negative things to say about Ben Askren and vice versa. And even after the fight, Jorge has not really come around and said too many positive things about Ben Askren. So we're going to take a little walk down memory lane. I'm going to show you first a clip prior to them fighting what Jorge Masvidal was saying about Ben Askren. Now, in fairness, during this buildup, Ben Askren was talking a lot of smack about Jorge Masvidal and was really going at him. See, if you guys don't remember when Ben Askren was in the UFC, he was incredible with the smack talk. He was great. It's one of the reasons why he's so good on DC's show, where it is what's it called, Funky and the Champ, one of my favorite shows in terms of mixed martial arts. So anyways, Ben Askren was going after Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal did not take too kindly to that. That's not his style. So he came back and had a lot of animosity towards Ben Askren. The reason why I'm giving you guys this setup is because I want to illustrate something incredible at the end. If you guys haven't seen Jorge Masvidal come out and give really kind words to Ben Askren, I don't know, it really hit me, and I feel like it's very emblematic of the true nature of this sport, where you can go out, you can have rivalry, you can have beef, you can have disagreements, but at the end, after all is done, and maybe this took a little bit longer to get to this point, but we recognize the humanity in each other, and it can melt away at the end of a fight, and you can leave it all on the table and come to some good terms. Now, of course, this is more than that, right? This is after Ben Askren has gone through something horrific, something traumatizing, something where he nearly died. And I think he's inspiring so many people with his positive attitude, the way he's coming out saying that he's not going to feel sorry for himself. There's no point to it. He's just looking for, like, I love that mentality. I love that symbol for all of us as fans and as people in general. I love how he's staying strong for his family. Like, the whole thing is incredible. And as much as Jorge Masvidal did not seem to like Ben Askren, it even got to him. And he's man enough, I think, to admit it and even give a positive message to Ben Askren, saying he wants to go out and talk to him and meet with him anyway. So I just wanted to share this moment and share my reaction and thought on this moment, because for me, people might make fun of me for even making this video, how MMA fans kind of are, but I don't care. I had to shine a light on it. I think it's incredible. I think it's beautiful. And I think it's what the sport is really all about. So anyways, just to go down memory lane, this is what Jorge Masvidal was saying about Ben Askren before they had that fight and that legendary 5-second knockout.
There's some unique energy around this one. I mean, we were at open workouts. The fans were yelling some heinous shit that they wanted you to do to Ben Askren. Does that feel to you like there's some weird energy around this one compared to normal?
I've never in all my pro fights had more fans come up to me and request the ending of somebody. Never, ever. Never. It's always like, yeah, fuck that guy. But I've never had specific demands like, can you sink in his eye orbital so he can no longer see from that side? And I've jotted down all of them, and I've said, I'm putting it out there in the universe. I'm going to try to make your wishes come true. So I've never had so much animosity towards a fighter that I've ever fought in my whole fucking career, man, from the fans, I mean, even yesterday when I was done at the open workouts, some lady had drawn a picture of him, showed it to me, threw it on the floor, and started stepping on it. This is what I want you to do to his face. I was like, yeah, I swear, my coaches were there. Maybe the UFC and better picked it up, but it was pretty fucking entertaining.
What's like the wildest thing someone's asked you to do to him?
So this is the fan sentiment, and he was leaning into it. In other interviews, he talked about how he legitimately disliked Ben Askren. Now, in many of these cases, when you have this sort of animosity between fighters, that not always, but a lot of times that can dissipate, that can go away. Now, we saw when Jorge Masvidal fought Colby, that clearly didn't happen. He went out and attacked Colby. So Masvidal might be one of these guys that is willing to hold on to a grudge beyond the fight, right? In general, but especially in this case, he was upset. He felt very disrespected on a lot of levels from the stuff that Ben Askren was saying. He got that legendary knockout, the flying knee right at the get-go. And this is what he had to say. He still, even after getting this amazing victory, he still didn't feel any better about Ben Askren.
I saw some criticism. People say the punches weren't really necessary. Maybe
they were super necessary.
Why were they necessary?
What do you mean, why were they not necessary?
Because he was already knocked out at that point.
But the referee hadn't pulled me off. And my job is to hit somebody till the referee pulls me off. So to those people, I would say maybe don't watch him and may go back to soccer.
I saw some other criticisms perhaps of your celebration afterwards. Any regrets at the celebration or your behavior in the cage afterwards?
Man, there's not too many people that I've disliked. I have over 50 pro fights, and he's one of them. You know, he talked about my manhood, talked about my culture, my ethnicity. Where do we drop? Why do certain people get to do stuff you online? So you could do anything. Everything is cool before a fight. You're allowed to do and say whatever you want, like other fighters are not doing. Talking about people's religions, wife, even kids. That's cool. But after a fight, I'm not allowed to showboat and rub it in your face. So you and guys like you could see it and be like, maybe I don't talk so much shit, because when I cross one of these real motherfuckers, they're going to make me pay for it, man. They're going to embarrass the shit out of me. And it's not over for Ben either. He still has to deal with me. If I see him at Whole Foods, I'm going to still slap that dude up because I don't like him.
So that was the sentiment, and that carried on. Even if you saw him having interviews after the fact, even recently, he's never warmed up to Ben Askren, never came around to him. Okay, so again, now we set the stage. Ben Askren has this horrific staph infection. It spread to his lungs. It developed into super aggressive pneumonia. I don't know all of the medical details, but it led to severe damage of his lungs to the point where he needed a lung transplant. Insane. The poor guy, he's got a family, and the insurance denied his claim to get the lung transplant. It was like over $1 million procedure. But thanks to a lot of people coming to Ben Askren's side and helping their family, they raised the money and they got the lung transplant. Ben Askren made an emotional statement to everybody, talking about exactly what it's been like. He doesn't remember the month of June. And he's just said how, I mean, he was in tears. He was crying. His family was supporting him. He was saying how grateful he is simply to be alive and for the outpouring of love and everything that people have showed him. He made a second video. I mean, just what a legend Ben Askren is. Made a video talking about how he's not going to feel sorry for himself. First, he's like, I never smoked a cigarette. I never did anything. Were my lungs taken away from me? But then he also says in the same video, there's no point in talking about this type of stuff. You know, it is what it is. I can't control it. This is what happened. I'm just looking forward. I'm not looking in the past. So hold on. I might want to see if I can actually pull this up really quickly, because it is just so, yeah, I found it. So incredible here. Check this out. And then we'll end with the clip from Jorge Masvidal.
One Mental Monday's message. And that was, I'm going to plead guilty. I felt guilty for myself one time. Right? And that doesn't do anyone any good. And I thought, man, I never smoked one cigarette, never smoked any weed, never did anything. Why did my lungs get stolen from me? Right? Why is this happening to someone who smokes habitually? Then I realized it happened. It's over. It's done with. I could be bitter and angry. I could whine, cry. It's not going to help anybody. I am where I am now, and I'm going to move forward the best that I can. So, I hope you guys are enjoying the updates. I will not feel sorry for myself. I'm going to get out of here pretty soon, and I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And to the point where it even moved Jorge Masvidal. You know, I was wondering if he was ever going to chime in or say anything. I thought maybe he wouldn't, and I wouldn't have blamed him for not coming out publicly and saying anything. Maybe he would send a message privately, but he did come out and say something. And again, I think this is even beyond mixed martial arts. This is just the recognition that at the end of the day, we're all just trying to figure stuff out. We all have people that rely on us, that care about us. And when truly tragic things happen, as much as you might think you dislike somebody, it all can melt away once we see the humanity in each other. And I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent outside of mixed martial arts, but I just really do think this is a special moment that needs to be recognized. So check this out. Check out what Masvidal said to Ben Askren.
This goes out to the one and only Ben Askren. What's up, my brothers? I know we were rivals in the ring. I just want to say, God bless you. And when I get back in America, if I could come shake your hand, brother, and just pray with you. It'll be amazing, man. I know you're gonna pull through this because you're a fucking warrior, brother. God bless. Your story is crazy inspirational, what you're going through right now. God bless you, man. I'm hoping to get back and be able to just shake your hand, bro. I hope all is well, brother.
I mean, after listening to some of the buildup, and there's so many other videos out there with Jorge talking negatively about Ben Askren, and to see it just all wash away, and Jorge to be able to come out and make that public statement. I don't know. This is part of why I love this sport so much, where you get to see people puff out their chest a little bit and come out and swinging and take on these crazy challenges and be tough and do all these things. But then in times of vulnerability, when we're really seeing each other's humanity, we're seeing people down and out, regardless of the rivalries that once existed. We see people step up and be supportive of, because at the end of the day, they're coworkers, they're in the same business, they're maybe brothers in arms in a lot of ways. And to see Jorge Masvidal come out and say something like this, I don't know. I just think it's incredible. And I think it should be shared. And I think more people should be talking about it. And I hope they sit down and have a conversation. And yeah, I don't know. It's so awesome. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.